Hello all. So I have optimized a little bit the view of the courses. I transferred all of this data of this table into this form on here. I used simple a panel on here with a display of grid, and I have split it up into 3 columns, where the first one is half the size of the other 2. And I defined child items where I put data in, and I used on here to place this thing, and on here is the first child, the description, on here is the second, and here's the third. In the third I put also just a table in, and then it results into this one here. So we could now get rid of this one here. We don't need this anymore, and we can make here a nice heading offered courses. So it looks like this. So this movie will now be maybe the heaviest one in this complete series, because oh, let's finish, let's revert this to, this is a leftover. Let's make our mockup to false, so nobody is logged in, right? So a customer would visit this website and would see these offered courses, and the customer would say, oh, this sounds interesting, how to use a file and a saw. And then the customer would click on here and will find a registration form. And we don't want to force the user, the visitor, first to create an account, log in, and then register on here. We want to do it with this registration formula in one step. But this makes it on a few sites a little bit complicated. Let's speak for this to get solved, this thing about these modules here, about the responsibilities. This module on here represents a database table which carries data about available courses with some field names, right? And there is an additional database table attendees. But we will teach this module to expose a form to some other modules view, and the modules view of the view file of this module on here will be able to ask this module to receive a form the user can then complete. And we will not send the form to the attendees directly. We will send the form to this module, because this module will implement business logic. The business logic to ensure that the entered data in the view of the form which is transferred to here is used by this module to make a database entry to the user is known. It will receive backwards resulting ID, and within the form which is sent to here, we will inject also the current course ID, and these two information, this ID from here and the retrieved ID of the attendee, this thing will, if it succeeds, use to store in itself. So this is the idea of it, and this will be a little bit complicated. Okay. So I will pause and then we will start, and I hope I will not to be too fast or maybe too slow. I don't know. I'm a little bit tired, but let's try to do it. So let's start. The first thing is, let's teach this thing to expose a form, and we can take advantage. Oops, this was wrong, but okay, didn't harm. Let's take advantage of the predefined or pre-created code of the Trongate app, and we are interested in this form on here, and this is available in the view of the attendees on here. It's quite clear, but we will make a copy of it. We will not operate on here, as we would break this nice, I name it backend, right? This is the admin template, and this is the backend actually, and we will never expose this to the customer who visits our website. Maybe it's clever to open here parallel so we can switch here faster. Yeah. So we are interested in this form here. So let's make a copy of this one here. Let's name it. I like to name it view underscore something. Register attendee. Okay. So, and this will be exposed now. And we will do this by simply offering a method to get a form, and we will name it function provide request form, something like this. Okay, and this will simply load up the view file, view register attendee. So, and this will be called within the view file at this position on here. This is what drops down. Modules run attendee, and the name of this method. And if you have now a look on here, reload. Oh, there's something wrong. Failed open stream. I messed something up. Attendees, right. So, and now we see on here the form, right? But it doesn't seem to be happy. Yeah? There are some variables not defined. I was wondering, hey, why it's an empty form? Why it tries to write some data in? Yeah, but this is due to the fact that after the form is submitted to somewhere, it's validated, and in case of error, the values which have entered are repopulated into it. And to understand how this works, as we see on here, is exactly the same form, right? There are no warnings over there. So it is set somehow, and we need to understand how this is set. And the implementation of this mechanism within this backend, it's a kind of genius. Yeah, it's a really cool idea. Yeah, how this has been set up. Look at here. We made on here a get request, and the method create is called, which loads up the view here. This form here. And if you cancel this, now you're jumping back to this manage thing, and we can, using this view thing, we can go to the update details of one entry. And now we have data in, and we see also that it's the same method used, right? But the difference is that now there is an ID existing. So this means that this method is behaving in two different manners based on the information if there is a third segment existing or not. This one here is the first segment. This corresponds to the module. This is the class actually, right? And here we have the method within this class, and this one here is a parameter for this method on here. Yeah. So if we remove this one here, we see that it's again create new one, right? So let's inspect a little bit the code, how this is done actually. So this is the create method, and indeed it's always trying to retrieve the third segment, always. Yeah. If we learn what this method is doing, it is checking if the third segment is set. But on our side, it's not set. So it's filling up our empty string and returning it. Yeah. This means that this one here contains empty, nothing. Okay. And this variable is checked on two places, on here and on here. Let's start with this one here first. It is checking if the content of this thing is a numeric thing, but it's empty, right? So it fails. So it goes onto here. And you see that it starts to form a create new record thing. Okay. If we head on here and try to understand, it's also again checking if it's a numeric, but it will fail, right? And as this one is failed, this ended thing makes this irrelevant what stand on here. It fails. Boom. And now the magic comes. It tries to retrieve a data from post, even that this one here is a GET request, right? So there is no way that this thing will succeed at this position to retrieve data from post. Weird, huh? But it's genius. So let's look how this is implemented on here. This is get data from post. We see that the code generator has created on here this function, and it tries to build an array with the indices of our column names, right? And it is asking, using this post function, if there is a post value set or not. And if you look at this one here, post, how this is implemented, we see that it also again checks if this field in the post memory area of the web server, right, is set, but it's not set. So it returns a value of nothing. It returns it. So due to this asking, due to these questions give me it is initializing these variables. It is initializing it. Yeah? We have not done it. That's the reason why we see on here undefined, because it's not initialized. Yeah. So what we need to do is easy. We just need to call this method on here. Oops, like this. Maybe this in front of. So, and we need to put this data to this view file. Yeah, and we will see now if we reload that it's a little bit happy. Yeah, but not complete. Yeah, there are some variables still missing. Yeah. This headline, for example, is missing. So let's add it on here. Please enter data or whatever. You see, now it's happy, but it looks a little bit odd. Let's remove this. Let's make this empty, but leave it to make it, keep it happy. And these attendee details will give the user the idea that it needs to complete this form. So now it's missing the form location, right? So let's add information about this one here. So we said that we wanna send this one here is the data where the completed form is sent to when it is submitted, right? And we said on here that we wanna send form, which is on here, to this one here, to this module, to something which handles. Okay, so we will make on here, let's copy this course plan and make out of it a new module for us. Let's rename course plan, and let's also make on here course plan. Get rid of this. No, I'm not sure if I have messed it up. No, course plan, but this one here should be written lower, right? Lower, but the control is uppercase. Okay, so and within of this we will make a function which receives the formula data, yeah, and we will say register, just register and nothing else, right? And we will here simply output the posted things, and that's it. And that's it. So we have now a method we can put in, and let's do it. Form location is base URL, and we will add up course plan and the form register, right? Okay, named register. Okay, register. Okay, so this form location thing, if you reload, is also happy. So the last thing is that the cancel URL is not given yet. So let's add this one here. But this is a little bit a thing we have to think about. So the attendees module would not know where to guide the website if the cancel URL is clicked on, right? In the backend on here, it's always returning back, yeah, to the attendees managing, right? So we need to find a way, because it does not know where it is called from to provide a form, yeah. It does not know it. So the requester of the form should provide the information where the cancel button should guide in. We can achieve this if we are parameterizing this method on here. So let's add on here some params, and let's make some sort of quality thing. If is now params, then guy no params given while requesting request form, and we'll make a line number, and let's write also the file name on which this happened, right? So if we are calling this now it breaks, right? No params given while requesting. So now we need to add this information to here via this way on there. So we will head to the view file and provide this data. Let's make here an array, because the data variable just contains an array, and we have just this one cancel URL, so we can type it directly on here in. And on here we will add now the location where the cancel button should submit. And this is actually the courses module itself. And this one here, this variable is now within this one here. We can write params like this. Yeah. So this is then given. Komma, the attendie ist 13. I messed something up. Yeah. So, yeah. And now our form is happy. Let's inspect it just to verify if everything is fine. We see here this null field, these empty things, right? We have ensured it. Then we have the form action. This is the thing where the formula data are sent to, course plan register. And we have also our cancel button configured, where it should guide the website if the cancel button is clicked. Let's test. This one here should stay on courses. Okay, it is doing. And if we are sending something, Mr. Smith, for example, submit, then we see that we received in the course plan register these posted values. Yeah. So this is cool. So, but at this point we have lost something. We have lost the information that this one has been selected. Yeah. So we need to relate this form while it is printed on here with this ID of this lecture. And this is the thing what we need also to teach it. Yeah. So we will add on here in the attendees, like here, additional data. Yeah. And we will put on here additional data. Maybe it's better to write this also as a capital one on here. So, and the view courses should also provide this data. Let's make on here a comma. Add data is something, right? Also something. Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah, okay. And we will now enter on here course ID is, and we know this information about on here. Course ID. Oh. Let's make it like this. Okay. Let's check if we have messed. This is one is this one. This one makes this. This makes this. This makes this. Okay, this is fine. Okay. So, and this additional data, this is an array. Again, an array with one element. And now we need to bustle this on the view file we have created. You know, pardon. Oh, I'm tired. In the attendees, this view register on here. And we see on here that so how to make on here an hidden field. We have seen let's check how this form close thing is done, because on here there is a hidden field, I think. Close echo form hidden. You see, form hidden, and then a variable name and the value. Okay, we will use this one here. And before we are closing it, we will make following. If is set additional data, right? Then we will go through this one here. Data as I don't know, key data value data, right? So, and maybe we just echo it out, just to get an idea what we are receiving, and then a value data. Okay, so let's see if this works. And we see that the key is course ID and the value is 1, right? Cool. So, but we will echo this out with this hidden thing, echo form hidden, okay? And we will not use this one here. We will name the key on here and the value on here. Okay, so, and now this form can also transport hidden fields which are not related actually, which are injected by the core. So let's see on here, and we see here input type hidden, name, course ID with the value of 1. And in the second form, if you open this one, you see on here course ID value of 2. Okay, so this and we will fill this data, Mr. Smith, blah 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 blah, and send this to the receiver, and we will see now here the load, first name, and on here the hidden fields, course ID and the string. Yeah, so we managed now to transport to the course plan module the course ID, the course ID, and all data which are needed to ask the attendee module to make a database entry. Okay, so a quick pause. I'm really tired now somehow. Okay, I'm back almost a day later. I went to sleep after the last pausing thing. So we have managed that we can enter on here attendee data thing somehow, main street, whatever. Yeah. Let's do London something. I don't know which would be entered on here. I don't know the postal code of London. Is it still UK from the political point of? I don't know. I don't know. Please forgive me if this is completely wrong, and I don't want to be offending some. Let's do it. So I will not run into any problem. So okay, so you see, you need to be careful and respectful with each other. So submit, and this form contains also the course ID of the course panel we have clicked on here. And now we see on here the content of the form is the first name, last name, the address, and also the course ID is 1, right? So, and this is sent. I haven't started up this thing yet. Okay, here we go. and this form was actually retrieved from the attendees module and displayed within a view file of the courses module we have completed, and we send it, boom, to here, right? And the courses module also fed the information about the courses ID, and as the form has been completed on here, it contains the data for attendee, and we sent it to a course plan. Yeah, you see on here. We are now at this position here. And now we will make a few database queries. The first is maybe that the course plan is asking the attendee module if there is already an attendee set up. And we will maybe actually actually we should have been asking also for some unique thing, right? For something which would be unique, like an email address or something. Let's see if we are able to put in our view register attendee thing a form input and a label. And let's, oh, they all look so complicated. Let's okay, let's use this one here, and let's put here email address, and we will use this also as the login name later. This is something unique. Email, and the variable name will be email, and for your email address. Okay, so we have added this here, but we will also need to add in our database table in the definition on here email thing. This would be also a varchar. Yeah, this is fine, and we'll move it to here. Okay, so yeah, now I'm interested to know so if we return and reload this thing. So we also see email address. Okay, undefined variable email. Yeah, and we know how to handle this, right? In the attendees module, we had this method get data from post, and we will copy this, make the same thing. Let's see, and say on there email. Yeah, we have learned it, right? Okay. And now we have also an email address. However, the sanitizing of the validation of this is not done. Not form. View register attendee on here, email. There are no information about this. Okay. This is not another place where the form validation will take place. Okay, but I'm now interested how this backend is on here is behaving. If you just make a reload, yeah, it does not know. Yeah, it does not know. It has not updated it, and of course it cannot update it as the view of the attendees does not know about this. Yeah. Okay. So we will copy this and add it also on here. And we need also to ensure, no, we have done it in the attendees. This is fine. So, and now we should have, no, we don't have. Or it's just not saying it. Here T is, manage, show, and here we need to put it, okay. Address last name on this one here. So we need to add this one here, and we need to be careful that we are not breaking this backend thing, right? But I think we are on a good way. No, it's not yet. Attendees manage. Let's see. Attendees and then manage. What is this doing? On here also. Okay. Oops. Why are you? What I'm doing wrong? Email. And then it's always the same somehow. Select all from attendees where first name is like or last name is like that, and or address like that, or city like that, or like blah blah blah. Oh yeah, okay. So or last name. So let's add on here it also. Or email like email. You remember in one of the first movies I ticked in the Trongate app somewhere, search thing is always good. I think this cost on this one here. Yeah, not pagination data. Okay, on here validation helpers. Okay, for the address. Oh, we won't. We will do it later. This validation thing for email. No, not doing it. I'm doing something wrong. So manage. So we have added on here, and we have added on here. This is fair. And then it writes attendees in the view file is manage here. Okay. Address, email, and then in the body on here it's output. Okay, fair enough. We have understood it, right? Yeah, rock and roll, baby. Okay, so we did this. Okay, and I hope we have not broke it. Mr. Snooky, whatever. Snooky at Wilson.com, and okay, submit. Line 1, the address line 1 is needed. Okay. Linus Street. I don't know how this fellow is written. Okay, so you attend this, and it has inserted. Okay, it's cool. Okay, so yeah, okay, we understood. So this was a small off-site trip, right? And now we have on here, if we complete this here again, Mr. Smith, whatever, blah blah blah, and here we have Smith at linus.com. Also, it's completely irrelevant what we are storing here. Submit. Now we see on here an email, and we will use this variable on here. This email we will use as the unique identifier of an attendee. Okay, which will also be later the login name. Okay. Quick break. I'm thirsty. Moment. Okay, so I close a little bit of these things. So now we are seeing this data, right? Here. Now we should ask actually, the course plan should ask the attendees module if there is an attendee existing, right? So it will ask it for the attendees ID with this unique identifier. Let's try to do this. Where is my Excel thing? Okay. So let's see what it offers us. Select from, no, this is from the database. There's the ID on there. No. Get where custom. Select from members for Trongate user ID something. Okay. Get one where. Get select all from fish where type equals where type. Type mackerel fish. This is cool. This is the one maybe which makes sense to use. Get one where, for example, Trongate user of this, or another example where we provide a field name where type, the field name, is something from the database table fish. Okay, so okay, but target table is still optional. Okay, but we need to provide. No, we don't need. I don't know. Okay, so let's ask the attendees thing, right? So if we look on here, create, manage, show, submit, get limit, offset, there is nothing prepared, but this is also application thing, right? So provide request form is fair enough. So okay, so function, let's make a method get ID by email address. I think I misspelled email address somewhere in the previous chapter, right? Get ID by email address. Okay, and we will simply add on here an email in, right? Yeah. Okay. So, and we will ask for a result line, and then we will ask the model to help us. This model get where. Okay, so what did it say to us? It said to us get model get one where. Get one where, right? Let's copy this part on here. Get one where. You see, get one where. So email, this is the column we are trying to find what our given email. And as we are on here in the let's add first the table name and later remove it. I'm not sure if this thing, this default value is taken from the module's name, from this one here, or if it's taken from the first segment on here, right? Because we are not at our first segment, we are here in the plan thing, right? We will test this because we want to learn Trongate, right? So get one where is this one on here, and then I will use my old-fashioned style of outputting things. Line, and then die at line 20 attendees PHP. Okay, so And this we will ask now from the course plan on here. Yeah, we don't need to do this line, and we will now make again user ID equals now the lovely modules run. I forgot if big or small attendees this method, right? With our we need to do first actually a sanitation and form validation, right? We'll do it later. So we are mixing up a little bit. I'm mixing up. Do form validation and then continue. Okay, so but we feel rebel, right? So, and this should actually ask now. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is a small letter. Okay, it's fine. So the course plan controller uses this. Okay, so let's see. Save, and we can just make on here a reload, yeah. And we see Boolean false. We see a Boolean false. Okay. Let's go back. Oh, we lost it. Yeah, it's blurred, but we lost it now. So we don't need actually. So we don't know actually. Mr. Smith. Snoopy something, right? Snoopy at Wilson. Okay. So, and let's make a mock-up within the database. Oh no, there is a Mr. Snoopy, right? Yeah. Okay, so Snoopy will submit. And now it succeeded. Also in the first try, while we have been testing, we used another email address, but now we received one line. This is this thing here, line is street 33, and this is on here. Okay, and here is also an ID. Okay, so as we are asking get ID by email address, right? We should return, because we should return if what says excellent. If this thing does not find, then it's falsing, right? False. Okay, so if line is not false, then return line, and we see here it's an object, also object boom ID, return ID, boom, and we will, and if it is false, then we will return false, or yeah, let's transport this information one by one further on. Okay, so this is our first thing, get ID by email address. The course plan has asked for it. So, and now if user ID is not false, right? Echo found user with ID, user ID, else echo user not found. Okay, so reload, found user with ID 3. Let's check in the database. ID 3. Okay. Oh, so now this thing on here knows two things. It knows the attendee ID. it got it, and it knows the courses ID, right? So, but if the user is not found, user not found, so not existing yet means insert, right? So now we should teach the attendee module to be able to retrieve form data and store it into the database, right? You submit. You see this one here. This model insert data into table attendees, yeah. And then we get an. Then we are getting anything. We will do in the next movie the form validation. I would need have to look a little closer into it. I'm not at this stage with my brain. Okay, so but this no, we will not do this one here. We will do this one here. Get ID by email address. Okay, and then now we want to have function add new attendee, yeah, by data, yeah, and here will be something like this. Okay, so but our application has changed the structure, right? We have adding up in the thing. Oh, I'm stupid again. So when we send something, right? Yeah, user not found. You see, this is good. Yeah, user not found. This is good. Reload. So we have added this submit thing. This is no column, right? And we have added course ID. So we will need to remove these two indices. Then our structure meets the structure of our database table. No, it's not. Country, yeah. Zip, yeah. No, actually it should, right? Submit country, and then zip. It does it. It meets the structure, and then it will meet the structure. So our course plan knows about this. Okay. So user not found. So clean up post data, and we will simply say unset post. I don't know if you can do this actually, if you're allowed to do this. Submit and course ID. Reload. Okay, and then let's do once more, and then let's output this here. User not found, and in our post form there is nothing which is not be handleable by our database query. Okay, so now we have here an add new attendee, and we can use this one, you know, right? Try catch PDO exception. We have seen this, right? So, and then we will, if it's wrong, this is our handle stuff, yeah, again, and then add 3, and then a get message like this, right? and we will try to put this one here. And we will now put this data on here. It's done into the attendees table. Okay. And if this succeeds, return update ID, right? Yeah. And now we need to call this method on here from the course plan. User ID equals modules attendees, admin attendee, and we will add post. Yeah, we are aware of it, right? We are aware of it. So, and said this is fine. User not found. We can get rid of this information. So, and then we will ask tell here echo new user ID is something. Okay, so reload. New user ID is 4. Let's check the database. Reload. Not on here. And there we have a new user. Okay, it's with bullshit data, but we have put it. And if you now make a reload on here again, found user with ID 4, yeah, so it won't update or insert an additional one. This is cool. Okay, so our course plan, which fulfills the business logic, is now complete with data with a valid attendee ID by found one or by created one, and this courses ID. Okay, so with the courses ID, yeah, we have now user ID, and within the posting we have also a courses ID, right? Courses ID post courses. Yeah, we will. Yeah. I will make one specific movie about form validation, and then we will also see how Trongate handles these things that it can validate. Yeah, and sanitize if it's needed, whatever. Yeah. So courses on here, user ID is like this, user not found, cleaning up post data, inserting, insert new attendee, and yes, and then we have on here. So, okay, so this is the first part we have to do, and we have done it. And now, perform registration, of course, by now known user ID and course ID, right? So, do we need actually to do the same thing with the courses thing? So a user cannot register multiple times too. Maybe we should do this, right? We will do it later. We will just put it in. Yeah. Now this is easy, right? Because there's a course plan, but we don't have a database table for it. So we'll make one table, course plan. We will add in ID field integer, and we will say on here what we increment, and we will say it's a primary key on here, and then we will put now these foreign key things, user ID, so integer, and we will put courses course ID. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm always forgetting with this Wine Windows thing on Linux. I'm not allowed to use the backspace thing. Courses ID. Okay, Okay, so we have a database table, yeah, as we defined on here. Course plan, right? Course plan, and then user ID is, and courses ID. Yeah, it's courses, right? Yeah, we will use on here. Course ID. Course ID. Okay. Okay, so this is easy, right? Excel. Get there. Get many. Insert data is required and type insert data. Okay, so we will define update 6 with data. Data last name equals to something. We will make just an array with 2 indices with the data, and then we'll see, no, insert on here, genau, an array with the data, and then we'll insert data. Okay, okay, let's do this, right? Okay, remember it. I will try. I will give my best. Data, and now course ID equals, yeah, here we use also courses ID, right? Doesn't matter. It's okay. It's fair enough. And the user ID is this one. Okay. And now on here we need a try catch thing. I hope try catch video exception. Did I wrote it as this one in the attendees things? Yeah, I did. Yeah. 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 Okay. So our handler pre-get message, boom, and now we'll try on here. ID equals this model insert data. Okay, that's it, and that's it. So, and then echo ID. Let's see what happens. Reload. Undefined array key courses in. Okay. Online 8 courses ID. Okay. Reload. Course ID. I don't remember. Okay. What does our database tell to us? Data. And we see on here our first entry in our course plan with the user with the ID 4 and the course ID 1. Okay. So let's do one clean one. So 3D printing. This is Jennifer. Jennifer at niceperson.com, and then on here line 1 Happy Street 34 again Stuttgart Marsch hier Baden-Württemberg 70563 Germania. Okay, submit. 2 reload. 2 we got a new user ID and the course is planned with the ID 2, and the user ID 2 is the attendee with 5, and this is Miss Jennifer, nice person, Happy Street. Excellent. Okay, so we have done it. Yeah, so now what we need to do is a kind of feedback to here. Okay, let's stop this thing, and if it's not longer than 30 minutes, then I will add it, and if not, if it's longer, then we will do it in the next movie. Okay, see you.